What's up, everybody? Welcome to Using My Story. We have my good friend Hannah here. How you doing, Hannah?
I'm doing good. How
You
are
doing
you?
good? You look happy.
Yeah.
You look like you're doing well. So today we're gonna ask a few questions. These are questions people are asking in the DMs and in the comments. So we're gonna get right to it. Four questions. Number one: can substance abuse cause paranoia?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Talk about it.
So when I was using cocaine, I would it was almost like psychosis and I got super paranoid thinking like cops are behind me. I'd be driving after I just did some. I'd be driving, think that cops were behind me. I'd hear voices like you would you would think it was like compared to schizophrenia, like how they
Hmm.
hear voices and stuff. That's how
Yeah.
paranoid I got.
So what are some signs that someone's like? What are some signs of paranoia?
Hearing voices that are
Okay.
really there. Like I would hear people talking, not necessarily to me, but just hear like conversations going on.
Like whispers?
Yeah, and I was
Like
alone. Yeah, and like you're
I
all
did that
alone.
too.
It's like,
And then
dude,
you don't want to tell nobody about it because you don't want them to think you're
exactly.
crazy. So you're just like,
Yeah, just keep it to yourself. It's fine. Don't
yeah.
bottle it up. Um, yeah, I would see like I don't know. I would hear like thuds moving around and everything, and be thinking, okay, somebody's here. But yeah,
Okay. Now here's another one. Why is addiction bad?
it destroys your life. I mean, it like turned my world upside down, it tore apart my family, it tore apart my mental health, my well being, my spirituality, like everything.
What do you think are some beginning signs of addiction? Like you go from like partying, having a good time. How do you know when you transition from having fun and having a good time to being addicted?
Well, like with drinking, for instance, when I started blacking out, that's when like it became consistently blacking out. Like it was no
Got it.
longer drinking to have fun, drinking to get lit or whatever. It was drinking with the intention of like blacking out and not remembering anything. So that's how I knew, like, okay, maybe this is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, shoot.
Drinking to blackout.
Yeah.
Because before you were drinking like to have a good time, drinking
Yeah, hang out with
hang
friends,
out,
socialize, get out of my comfort
hit
zone. But
that
then
off button like
yeah, then it got dark, dude.
yeah, for sure. Okay, now other people are asking, what is a substance abuse program? What is a substance abuse program? These are people that don't know anything about addiction or substance abuse.
Like rehab?
Yeah, they're like, what is it? What is that? And how, like, basically describe it, explain it, and how does it help people?
Okay, so like the beginning part of the program would be a detox facility. And basically, like they lean you off of if you're coming in off drugs or alcohol, they can medically detox you depending on what you need. Or you could just cold turkey detox it, no meds, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But they make sure that you're healthy because detoxes can be very dangerous. Alcohol detoxes are life threatening. So they make sure that you get through the detox, they get the drugs out of your system, kind of get a clearer head, and then you do like residential PHP, and then you start programming. So you go to groups where they teach you about addiction, substance abuse, and they basically help you to become like a functioning human in society. Because like
Yeah.
as an addict, you don't have that. You don't know how to function. You don't know how to live. So the groups help you become a person again. You know, they do.
That's real though.
Yeah.
Like it sounds crazy, but it's super real. Like they
Yeah.
help you become a person again. And like
Mhm.
unless you struggle with addiction, you don't see the value of that.
Yeah.
You're like, become a person again. I already am a person.
Right. Like you could be any age, dude. Detoxes will take you, rehabs will take you, and then like they just help you get yourself back, like to pre-drugs, pre-alcohol.
Who you were supposed to be, how you were
Yeah.
intended to live.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay, now talk about this. What is it like to be addicted and then now to be in a position like you are in? Like, how does it feel? Like, what? How does it feel?
It's a trip. I mean, I don't know. Like, I spent a lot, like, I'm 25 and I spent like a good 10, 11 years using and drinking.
Hmm.
So it's like, it's weird now, but it's so incredible. Like, today I get to have a clear mind. I get to enjoy things and actually make memories. Like, I get to have my family back, dude. I never thought I was going to get my family back.
Yeah.
Like, I thought they were gone. Like, they wrote me off, wanted nothing to do with me. But, like, now I'm the person they call when they're struggling with something, like going
Cool.
through it. They call me and they're like, well, what should I do? Like, this is how I'm feeling. And it's like, dude, that's amazing.
That's awesome. What is
Yeah.
your family saying about you now?
They're so proud.
They
They're
are.
so grateful and so proud. They like my mom calls me every day. She still counts my days, like to
Wow.
let me know, like, oh, you have 300 whatever, 400 whatever. I'm like, girl.
That's
Yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, she's rad. She's awesome.
So she's super happy for you.
Yeah, dude, they're stoked. They're so happy that I'm sober now. They got their daughter back. I get to be a daughter. I get to be a sister. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I like that. Can you talk about a time when you relapsed after a period of sobriety? What caused the relapse and how did you bounce back?
Oh yeah. I think that's actually how I met you after I had a year sober. I was in a super abusive relationship, like physically abusive. I stayed sober through it, but then after I got out of it, it was like, whoa, like what just
Yeah.
happened for the last 6 months? So I ended up picking up a drink, and that led to smoking crack. And then I was like held up in an apartment with all these people, and I was like, dude, like I can't do this because I got a taste of sobriety.
Hmm.
So I knew what it was like, and I was like, I don't want this lifestyle. So there was no court order holding over my head, nothing. It was just like I genuinely wanted to get that sobriety back. I think that's when I reached out to you to get into Bridges to Life.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was just
How long ago
hitting.
was that? Like
That was in 2020.
20?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
2020. But yeah, like I hit that bottom. I hit that like emotional rock bottom where I was lost, and I was just looking around, and it's like there's drugs everywhere. Everybody looks miserable. I'm miserable. Like I'm not having a good time.
Yeah.
And it was like I wanted to get the happiness and the freedom back.
That's good.
Hmm.
And then you got it. You went to
Yeah.
detox.
Yep. Went to detox, rise all over again. But it was worth it. It's definitely worth it.
It was.
Yeah.
So, what can you say to somebody who is struggling right now? How could you encourage them?
Um, Honestly, be open about it. You have to surrender. Like you have to be willing to surrender and be willing to accept help. And the only way that's going to happen is if you voice it. Like for me, that was the biggest thing. I kept it enclosed for so long, and then it's like as soon as I opened my mouth, I received help. I
Hmm.
flew out to California from New York because I opened my mouth. Like I was willing to surrender and to receive help.
So, surrender means don't make no excuses,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So, if you say, I want to get help, but that's not fully surrendering, right?
Yeah. Yeah. You can't have any buts in there. It's got to be like I'm fully surrendering and I'm willing to do it, like whatever it takes. Like literally go to any lengths.
Hmm. Have you, like, now that you've been clean, how long have you been clean?
Over 2 years.
Over 2 years.
Mhm.
What are you looking forward to this next year? Like, what kind of goals do you have?
I want to grow spiritually. Because, like, the first year I spent mainly focusing on, like, just don't pick up a drink or do a drug. Like,
Hmm.
that was it. And then the second year was kind of like, I don't know, kind of finding myself and establishing myself within the AA rooms and everything. And this year I'm about spirituality and growing.
That's good.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the more you think about trying to stay sober, the more you end up thinking about getting high?
Low key, yeah. Like, the more I
Right?
focus and, like, hyper focus on it, I'm like, shoot, like, what the heck? It's been over 2 years. Like, I could have a drink. Like, the more I
Yeah.
focus on it, the more I think about you. Like, that's the only time that I'm thinking about using.
Yeah.
If I'm not thinking about how many days I have or how long I have clean, I'm just coasting through life. I don't think about that stuff.
Yeah, that's how I felt. Like, the more I would think about not trying to get high, the more I would think about getting high.
Yeah.
But the more I thought about goals and, like,
Hmm.
what am I going to do with my life, then then drugs start really looking stupid.
Yeah.
Because compared to your goals, you're like, why am I going to do that if I want to do this?
Right. When you're goal oriented, the drugs definitely look stupid. It's like, why would I waste all of this? Why would I downgrade? You know? Yeah.
So all those things you came out of, now you're 2 years clean and sober. Now you're working on spirituality.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Don't you think it's going to be crazy when you have like a little girl or a little boy and you're married and you have like all those things you never thought you were going to get?
Yeah. I think about that a lot, actually. It's just like, dude, like, nobody would have wanted to marry me when I was using and drinking. Like, nobody would have thought twice. Nobody would have looked at me. And now it's like, I could be that woman that I was meant to be. I could
Hmm.
be that motherly figure that I was meant to be. Cause, like, there was a point when I had to kind of raise my siblings. So, like, I have that maternal instinct, you know?
Hmm.
And I think about that. Like, I get to have a family one day. I get to get married. I get to experience all that. Like, real human stuff, you
Yeah.
know? Like,
I am human.
yeah. That's how I feel, dude. It's crazy.
It's crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So, what do you do with those thoughts that come and tell you, like, you're not going to be able to do that? You're not going to be able to do that. How do you, because when you come out of all that stuff, it tries to keep you in a box. Like, it
Hmm.
tries to define you and it tries to make you feel like that's all you're ever going to be. But
Yeah.
then you get in environments where you start feeling good. Like, no, I could do that. How do you deal with those thoughts of like you're never going to be able to do this or that?
Sometimes it's really hard, but then like I play the tape forward of how good my life could be if I just stay sober and ignore those thoughts, like battle them,
Good.
combat them. You know, like I think about how much I have gone through and I'm still alive today.
Yeah.
I'm still breathing. I still got a roof over my head. Like life is good today, you
Yeah.
know? And I have like maybe the bare minimum to some, but I'm content with that. Like I love it. So I remember how much I made it through and it's like if I made it through that, who's to say I can't make it through this, you know?
Gratefulness.
Yeah. Whole lot of gratitude.
How important is gratitude in recovery and sobriety?
It's like top 3 main things for recovery and sobriety. Like if I fall out of gratitude, I catch myself slipping and I get a real nasty attitude. And then I start having the thoughts about using and
Yeah.
drinking because I'm thinking like, well, what the heck? Like I've been sober all this time for what? Like, dude, to save your life, you know?
Yeah.
Like gratitude's so important. If I don't have gratitude daily, then I'm a bitter human. I'm a very bitter human and I'm selfish.
That's good.
Yeah.
All right. Say one final thing to anybody that's looking to get clean and sober or feeling like they're working on a relapse.
I mean, you don't have to relapse and you can always get help. You can do it. There's so many people, like, I didn't realize how many people do this stuff and get sober, but there's a whole community anywhere you go. Like, just get to a room, get to a place, like, get to fellow alcoholics, addicts, and they're gonna help you. They're gonna love you until you can love yourself. Like, I hated that saying, but it's so true. Like, it really is.
That's awesome. So, if you guys are struggling, if you know anybody who is, make sure you share the video with them. Continue to comment, like, subscribe. Thanks for the update, Hannah. Always good to have you, and
Sure.
looking forward to seeing everything that happens. All your goals are going to be complete.
Yes.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
All right.